This is more of the Gifford Pinchot National Forest in Washington State, and this is the footage of the Sasquatch as he moves beyond the trees. First you see him block behind the trees and then move on. And like I say, we're going to be giving you more information about every aspect of this. We're starting off with stills. This is analysis.
We talked in a previous episode about the Pleistocene Park and the fact that the lead scientist is purchasing more land in Moscow. And it's just kind of interesting. We're trying to figure out, where's the money coming for this? Who's funding all these things?
Yeah, we had talked about the guy Sergei Zymov being able to fund something like this, fund a park that size. And we had also talked about people in the United States with their Bigfoot research are running into dead ends because there's not the same type of funding like there was with Tom Slick in the 60s and oil barons and people like him that had substantial funds and funded Bigfoot operations. And there's talk about people in different organized crime people in the drug cartel with tons of money.
Well, just anywhere you can get money. Who's got extra money?
And, yeah, that would be willing to do it. And there might end up being some rogue type of people, but go ahead with what you were saying.
Well, yeah, just interestingly enough, one of the largest drug kingpins in Mexico was busted on Saturday in Mazatlan, Mexico. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman was taken into custody with the Mexican Marines and U.S. federal agents. So that's a huge deal. I mean, we talked in past episodes about $5 million bounty. Had $10 million bounty, Bigfoot, and the United States had a $5 million bounty out for this guy.
And so what was
extraordinary money.
What was this guy's? Is this the guy that had the tremendous cache of money on him, or what is the?
He's got his hands in everything, and yes, a tremendous cache. I mean, he was the kingpin. He was the kingpin of all of the drug cartels in Mexico. He was the largest.
Is he the guy that I heard
the most powerful?
They found a certain amount of cash on him at his place.
I'm sure he had tons of cash on him, but I don't know the exact amount of cash that he was probably caught with. But he's living in,
I mean, some of these people
pure luxury.
Yeah, are extremely frivolous with their money too, to some degree. They could. I mean, they are in shady business.
Absolutely. Well, you got to get money somehow, right?
Yeah, I mean that just happens with a lot of different things. The first generation is in some kind of illegal criminal activity, and then
everybody goes legit.
Yeah, it's kind of perfect. It reminds me of the movie The Godfather. Initially, it was Marlon Brando, the Godfather, and he wanted his sons to eventually to be on the straight and narrow and be senators, politicians, and that's what Al Pacino's character was going to strive for. He ended up being just as bad as his father, but that's always the wish.
Well, in Russia, there's a lot of heavy-duty organized crime.
And we can't say anything. You're just.
Well, it's speculation.
No, it's not even speculation. I'm just saying that, not even beginning to speculate on anything remotely like that. Let's separate from anybody that's related to that. But there are people that do. There is. Let's not even get close to saying that.
I mean, if you're looking for money, you gotta go where the money is, right? I mean, it's not always presented to you in a way that's coming from organized crime.
No.
They're funneling money all different ways, laundering it in many different ways all over the world. So these people are touching, the pulse of where that money's coming from.
There's plenty of things, legitimate businesses that were funded by mafia people. I mean, the whole entertainment industry in Las Vegas.
Well, it's funny you bring up entertainment because, the big takeover with Comcast taking over Time Warner. Today it was reported in the news that they've got over 150 registered lobbyists in Washington, including senators and congressmen.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows the power of money.
Not only does it show the power of money, but where you're spending the money in the right place.
To get what you want.
Absolutely, to get what you want. Whether people say that's underhanded or not. I mean, that's just reality.
I mean, I'm relating this to Bigfoot in the sense that people complain, like, if I want to set up a bunch of cameras in this area, but at $200 a camera trap, and if I just set up 1,000 cameras, that would cost me $20,000 or whatever their claim is.
What happens? Some of those get damaged, or the weather takes them out, or something happens to them, or you got other guys out there tracking that are stealing them.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to have and maybe you want to maintain a presence of people there, kind of looking out for them, and they got to pay them to
feed them, clothe them, house them,
protect your investment. Well, all that costs money, and obviously they're not getting. There's people on Finding Bigfoot, or not Finding Bigfoot. What's the other show? $1 Million Bigfoot Bounty that sell their car in order to go on a excursion looking for Bigfoot. Well.
Maybe you should sell your car, buy a few cameras.
The way the world goes around is, there's a lot of shady business going on, and we're just relating that to
It's all shady. It's all underhanded. Now, come on. Let's be realistic about this.
You can go on for another 50 years, and people are asking, well, how do you get such great photos? Well, we've got experienced trackers, and we're also funding them to do it. You can go on for another million years, with people that go out and collect scat and dump hydrocal over their heads.
Don't put it down, because in some people's realities, that is the way to go after Bigfoot.
Well, it's just being
Doesn't every Bigfooter carry hydrocal with them?
Anyone that's worth their salt, they say.
And doesn't every Bigfooter taste scat?
Well, the guy on $1 million Bigfoot bounty
I thought that was just part of, that's just, if you're a Bigfooter, that's just it. I mean, you've got to do those things.
Yeah, well, that's the way that the guy on Michael on the $10 million Bigfoot bounty was presented as a scat eating.
That means you're serious.
That means, and paint your face green means you're serious.
Well, you're camo.
Get a mohawk, yes, and then use hand gestures as you're talking all the time, like you're a rap star. Yes, that makes you a serious Bigfooter. But I think ultimately,
maybe that's sign language. Now, come on.
Yeah, maybe but ultimately, what matters is the evidence.